Hello! We made it.
Hi there.
All right, we wanted to hop on tonight and share with you a little bit about goal setting. We're certainly blessed that Corey invited us to share with you. I consider it quite an honor. We are not diamonds or anything fancy like that yet, so for us it's kind of exciting. But just a little bit about us. I am Lindsay Slagle.
And I'm Daniel Slagle.
We are both elementary teachers, so we both work in a public school system just right down from our house. I teach second grade.
And I'm currently working in the fourth grade.
So we're both in the elementary. Our kids are right there at school with us. We have a fifth grader, a third grader, and then we have a little 2-year-old at home as well. So for us, the Young Living journey has been kind of unexpected. We have what many call the accidental business. We did not get into Young Living with the intentions of growing a business, but what a blessing has been and what a change it has been in our lives. And definitely we are seeing the mindset shift as well. Thank you, Corey, by the way. I tried to get Daniel to pull his out of the closet, but I think he needs a new one this year for convention. So we wanted to talk about goal setting. That is something that, because the business became accidental to us, it has really changed a lot, and I wish I knew now what I knew back when we started. So we started our Young Living journey about 5 years ago. We'll actually celebrate our 5-year anniversary on the rally day. So our Young Living anniversary is on the day of the rally. And when I started, I knew nothing about the business. He knew nothing about Young Living. We knew nothing. And I had a college friend who had posted some things on Facebook, and I was interested in a bottle of Thieves. That's all I wanted. I didn't even want the starter kit. And I dragged my feet and gave her a hard time and was convinced that I should just order a bottle of Thieves on Amazon. And she lovingly, graciously, patiently explained to me why that was not the best decision and that I needed to get the starter kit. So we did. We went ahead, made the plunge, got the starter kit. And then she said to me, would you like to learn how to share? Would you like to, learn more about the business side? And I adamantly said, no, I want nothing to do with that. That sounds frightening and scary. Absolutely not. But then we started using the products. And you guys know the products speak for themselves. And as we started using them on ourselves and on our children, we saw the difference. And I'm like, maybe I do want to learn a little bit about what sharing is. But remember, I had never been to a class. I knew nothing about it. So a upline leader, not even my sponsor and enroller, but 2 above me, okay, reached out to me and said, I'll come teach a class for you. She didn't live anywhere near us. She lived an hour away. She had never met me before, but she said, I'll come teach a class. And I'm like, all right, so in her car she hopped. What was she, 8 months pregnant, kids in tow. It's our wonderful Lauren Bretz that we all know and love. She drove to my town and sat down with 6 of my friends in a coffee shop and unzipped a little, like women's purse bag zippy thing of oils and passed them around the table. She put them on, we put them on, and she talked about them. I'm like, that's it? That's simple. I could do that. That's not too hard. There's no pomp and circumstance with that. And I came home and said, hey, Daniel, I signed up 5 people today because a friend of mine came and we passed around some oils, and guess what? We're going to get the money back from our starter kit. And from then on out, it became so fun and so easy and so simple. But then she encouraged me to set a goal. And at that point in time, I had seen a picture that Corey had posted of herself, and I think it was Amanda Uribe, holding their Silver and Six kit that they had. And I looked at that with stars in my eyes, and I thought, what a blessing it would be to have something like that, where if we need an oil, it's right there, I have it. That is my goal. If I could ever achieve that goal, all will be wonderful and well. I'll need nothing else. So I set my goal as silver. I'm going to get to be silver someday. That was my big lofty dream, was someday in my little old town, nobody knew about oils. Nobody, I live in a very small community, don't have a big family at all. I'm an only child. My dad was an only child, so very, very small family. So I thought, you know what? Silver is as big as I'm ever going to get. Let's just go for it. And I went for it, and because I had my mind to it, we reached it like that. My products came in February, and I hit silver in October. Yep. So it happened quickly, but because I didn't dream big, I hit it and I stopped. Because you know what? I made my goal, done. I stopped. I stopped growing because I stopped sharing. I didn't think that there was a need. To me, gold seemed unattainable. It seemed outlandish. I could never get to be gold. That would just be way too much. People like me, from little towns like me, don't hit goals like that. So why set it? It's not obtainable. I'm not going to reach it. So what's the purpose of just getting let down? So I just stopped. I stopped sharing, and we maintained, but we did not grow. This continued for probably 2 years, where we just maintained status quo. We didn't do any work. We had our 2-year-old, we went through the pregnancy and bringing home a newborn and all of that, and I just continued to maintain. And when I say I didn't work, if somebody reached out to me and said, hey, would you come teach a class? I went and taught the class, but I didn't make contacts. I didn't do follow-up. I did nothing. Literally, I logged into my virtual office once a month to place my ER order, and that was it. And then about 1.5 years ago, Lauren, she would let me, I tell her this to her face, she bullied me into going to a conference, and the Lord took hold of my heart right then and there at that event and said, why are you settling for, what do you want to say? Why are you settling for just this when I've given you the opportunity for more? Why not dream bigger? Why not allow me to bless you so that you can turn around to bless others? And after that, my whole mindset shifted. It was not all about me anymore. It was not about me wanting to come home from work tired, sitting on the couch, binge watching Netflix, sleeping, doing nothing. And that's how I'd been living for close to 2 years, because why would I want to do more that involves work when I didn't even see the need? So my mindset shifted. It was a 180, and I realized, you know what? I need to have bigger goals, bigger dreams. It is not about me. It is about how can this company and how can what we're doing affect others? How can we impact our community? How can we impact our friends and family that are struggling with their health needs, with their wellness, with their finances, with their family? How can we affect others in our surrounding friendships and circles of friends? How can we impact those in the world? As I learned more about the foundation and the things that, the foundation is able to do in places that I can't do here in Ohio, that really shifted my mindset and my goals. So we started really working on small goals, monthly goals, and then creating action steps for them. So my first suggestion would be dream, but dream big. And once you have your goal, dream even bigger, because you're going to reach that goal. And when you reach that goal, don't fall into the pitfall that I felt of just saying, oh, I'm done. Because if I had continued working, who knows where I would be now. I went to that event with Lauren in July after being a silver for 2 years, over 2 years. Came back and started saying, hey, I'm going to do something in August, and August, September, October we hit gold, because for 3 months I decided I'm going to go back to work. And what we have learned is if you work this business like a hobby, you will get paid as a hobby. If you work this as a business, you get paid as a business. Like, it's very simple. Okay. I'm going to stop talking. What did you want to say?
All right, so I'm going to continue on with talking about a little bit on the goal. Coincidentally, Lindsay and I didn't really discuss a whole lot about the dream big, but that's one of the points that I put down here in addition to that. Stop at easily attainable goals. I know that when we think about some of the goals that we have right now, I know personally for me, I'm really big on you think about athletes and they want to have short-term goals, they want to have long-term goals. Well, it works well in business setting as well. And so when I think about short-term goals for me, as we started really diving into the business and getting a good idea of what its possibilities were, I just wanted to really be able to pay down small debt. We didn't have much student loans to pay down, but there's still those various bills that you have, and you just want to stay up on them. For others, maybe the goal is just to be able to pay for the products first and foremost. But from short term, thinking about long term goals. And so for us, long term is to be able to pay off a house. And so we know that being motivated and setting goals short term, long term, it really helps us to keep motivated and also to stay excited. But also with that, it's just when you're setting those goals and you know that you're achieving some of those things, you get that sense of a fire gets lit up underneath you, and you have a sense of more grit. You want to get after it. You get more hustle. We know that we go through seasons where we have a little bit of downtime, but ultimately, if you're staying goal-oriented and goal-focused, like we hope that we are, and we want to learn more about ways that we can enhance our own goals, but we feel that it keeps us, the energy's there, the fire's there, that you want to continue to build things. So I think that was kind of a big thing for me when we think about Dream Big, just to strive to go further than what you really think that you possibly can. And also one of the goals that I wanted to kind of convey, while Lindsay's been really focusing in on a business for 5 years here, I didn't really catch a fire with that until started seeing some of her potential and her income coming in. And so for me, really, as the guy here and kind of starting to see that, I think what really helps get a guy fired up is seeing that, but also discussing the goals together. And I think that if you are going to work it as a business, both of you have a vested interest in the goals and that you have set forth. And so it works great when couples come together, discuss those goals, get excited, reaching the short-term and the long-term goals, and saying, hey, this is a lot of fun. And I think it just generates a lot of excitement.
Good?
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure he has an opportunity to talk. Something I would encourage you to do is when you are thinking of your goals is to not make your goal a rank. That is one of the problems that I think I created for myself, is my goal was a rank. And what I've learned that I wish I would have learned a long time ago is that rank does not define us. Jules Johnson did a great video the other day, and she said that, and it really struck a chord. I'm like, that is so, so true. Rank does not define us. But so for your goal, I really encourage you to set your why. I know we've talked about that a lot with the mindset, but what is your why? Why are you doing this right now? Set that up, put that on paper, and share it. Share it with a friend, share it with your team members, share it with a group. Once you share it, it becomes real. It brings life to it. Your why changes with time. When we started, our why was, I want to get my money back for my kid, right? Then our why became, I want to be able to purchase some products. Then our why changed, I want to be able to place an ER order and not have to worry about how much money it costs. I want to be able to get all those monthly promos. Then our why changed to, I want to be able to have some money to do some home improvements. Our why continues to change. Your why may be a vacation. Your why may be to pay off, like Daniel said, some loans. Right now, I'll be honest, my why is to possibly change my career, to be able to stay home with my kids. Like, for me to publicly proclaim that, that was scary for me. When I first told Leslie Morris that, I had tears in my eyes because I felt like, you know what, I'm an educator, I'm a professional, I have my master's degree, I've taught 14 years, like, I've worked hard for that. That is what I'm doing. And for me to say out loud my why of doing this business is to be able to stay home with my family, that was scary because I felt like I'm disappointing somebody by saying that. But that's what it is, and you need to say it, because when you say it and you tell somebody, it makes it real. Hold yourself accountable, whatever your why may be. For some of you, your why may be putting your children through college or paying for a wedding, buying a new car, giving to other families so that they can go through adoptions. I know that that's big for many people. It might be families that have medical bills or sicknesses. Whatever your why may be, put it on paper and tell somebody. Have an accountability partner that will help you work for that why. Because then when you come home or when you're tired or you just want to sit down and do nothing and be lazy, that why is in your head and you think, if I sit down right now and watch TV or do whatever this is that going to help me obtain my why? Probably not. And that's where my mindset shift started to change. If I go and I do some IPAs or I talk to somebody, I'm going to be able to obtain that why. This past weekend, we had some ladies come over. We made vision boards where we took pictures and we put them on boards that we can hang up in our office or hang up throughout our house. It is full of whys. All of my whys. What do I want to accomplish? Where do I want to go? Those things are now physically on paper, printed, hanging up in my office, so that way every day I can see these are my whys. This is what I'm working towards. And then they change. As you obtain them, your whys are going to change. So your goals and your whys go together. Help you obtain your whys, then you create and you set your monthly goals. After you know your why, put them on paper. Have a planner. Many of you have a planner or you have an agenda, you have a calendar. Set your monthly goals. So your monthly goals might be to share with so many people. It might be to hold so many classes. It might be to make connections with some people at work. It might be to reach out to some old people you haven't talked to. Whatever your steps are, put them on paper and then stick to it. Schedule. I am emerald. I am very green. So scheduling to me comes easy. It might not be easy to you. So you need to put that on your calendar and then do it. So if you have scheduled that from 6 to 8, you're going to sit down and you're going to do some income producing activities. From 6 to 8, you sit down and you do that. If something comes up, because we're human, things come up. We have kids. Sometimes I have scheduled that I'm going to do an IPA, from this half hour, but something comes up. It doesn't go away. It doesn't just disappear. If something comes up from 8 to 9 and I'm not able to do that, then I'm a mom first. I do my motherly business, but then when I come back after I'm done, I still do that before I go to bed. Or if it's a big thing and I can't get to it, it goes to the next day. It doesn't just erase because it's on paper. I've not crossed it off. I've not checked it off. I still need to do it. So put your goals on paper, make them obtainable. We both teach special education, so we write IEPs. IEPs have goals, but then they also have objectives. They have to be measurable. So make your goals measurable. How are you going to obtain your goals that month? It's not just, this month I'm going to share. Well, that's nice. How? What are you going to do? Put those on paper. I'm going to hold this many classes. I'm going to call this, whatever the case may be. Next thing is shares versus leaders. This is another trap that I fell into. I thought it was so important to grow leaders. And I was searching for leaders. I love Corey's video the other day about we might have a lump of gold in our backyard, but it's going to take us how long to go find that piece of gold and tear up my whole backyard. Stop focusing so much on finding leaders. When I started and Leslie said to me, do I want to share? I said no. If she would have asked me if I wanted to be a leader, heaven forbid what I would have said to her. I was so adamant I didn't want to share. If somebody would ask me to lead, I would have gone running the other direction saying absolutely not. So stop trying to find leaders. Every once in a blue moon, you will sign somebody up that says, yes, I want to do the business. That's wonderful. When you find those people, hug them, hold them, and run with them. But don't get discouraged if not everybody signs right up and says, hey, I want to be the next Royal Crown Diamond, because that's just not how this works. Find sharers. Find people that use their products, because product users can very easily be product sharers, because once they start loving the product and using the product, we share about the product. How many of you got something for Christmas, you loved it, and you told somebody about it, okay? It's not because you want to be the next leader in that company. It's because you liked it, it worked, and you want to share. So encourage people to try new products, and then they will want to share. Make a goal for yourself to share with 2 or 3 people, each month. Help your team members make super simple little goals. When you sign somebody up, help them use the products, find their favorites, and then encourage them to share with 2 or 3 people. They might just share about lavender and peppermint, and that might be it, and that's okay. And then once they've shared, encourage those people, share with 2 or 3 people. Once they've shared, encourage those people, share with 2 or 3 people. Do you see? Make it duplicatable, okay? When you have a class, keep it simple. We don't need the big pomp and circumstance, because if when I went to my first class, there would have been this whole big elaborate display and all this hoopla, I would have looked at that and I would have said, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't have the knowledge, the supplies, the money to do that. I'm out. But because it was very simple and I looked at that and I thought, oh, that's easy. I can do that. Let me have a try. It's very duplicatable. So keep it super simple and keep it easy. If you have somebody that wants to do a big class with 10 people, great. Don't discourage them, but keep it very simple, okay? Look for sharers over leaders. And the last thing that we want to talk about is the importance of, did you want to do this? I see you itching.
Well, let me just bump back a little bit, because I like the idea Lindsay talked about, making sure she actually jumped ahead a few on me. So that's all right. I'll give her the glory at the very end there. Talking about the shares, keeping it simple. I know, like for myself, one thing that would have driven me nuts is to sit there and maybe have a script that's already processed. Nothing wrong with that, but that might have been something to me that would scare me off. I know personally there's a lot of benefit to some of the oils I use at school, and I'm using them. People ask, what is it you're using? It's easily, or I'm able to easily share that, what it is that I'm using, and I think that helps promote some benefit to that. Also, I want to just kind of touch base back to the why. She touched base on every single thing that I would have said as well, and did a fantastic job with that. In addition, I think the whole notion of freedom overall, I think that's kind of a model theme, model word when we think about what the Young Living lifestyle can provide us. The freedom to ultimately, when I think about how we are to be in the church, Bible talks about how we are to give back 10%. We faithfully do that, but wouldn't it be nice to be able to have a spot, to be able to say, okay, I can give above and beyond that. And so I think for me, that's a why for myself, that I would like to be able to give above and beyond to God's ultimate mission, whether that's to charities or to the Young Living Foundation. We didn't talk much about that, but I think that's a goal for us down the road, that we're able to have that sense of freedom and purpose as well. So I just want to talk a little bit about the share and also the why as well, and I'll let you finish up on the final point.
That's all. The last thing was the importance of making sure that your enrollments outnumber your inactives. Now that is a something we are working on. That is a weakness of ours. I will own that right now. I had just talked to Leslie the other night. How do I fix this problem? I see that my inactives seem to be growing and my enrollment seem to be decreasing. So it's super important that we are caring for our team members right when they enroll, because they choose to enroll for a reason. So it's very important that we follow up with them and that we work with them. We keep them excited. We keep them trying new products. Deborah Rayburn says the fortune is in the follow-up, and that is so, so, so true. Making sure that they are understanding, using their products. Honestly, when I have somebody personally that signs up, I encourage them, get their kit, and then get on ER right away. And I tell them, this might not be something that you guys agree with, but I tell them, try new products every month, but don't order more oils until your 3rd month. Try different Young Living products. There's so many different product lines, with the personal care products and the supplements and the food and the makeup. Try different product lines. Use your everyday oils, but don't worry about oils until at least after the 3rd month. I want you to try all of the different product lines. So that's something that, as we've been starting to do, we've been seeing that change. But really focus on enrollments by keeping it super simple and sharing, so that way your enrollments outweigh your people going inactive. So just to recap, know your why. Set your why. After you have your why, make your goals to help you achieve your why. So for us, for Dan and Lindsay right now, it is our season of hustle. The last 2.5 months have been insane because we are in a season of hustle. Our why, like we said, is getting out of debt, being able to change jobs, doing things like that. So right now we decided we're going to be in a season of hustle. You are in month 3 of...
executive run.
So he is on month 3 of hitting executive, and I am on month 3 of gold. So between the two of us, this house has been pretty crazy the last 3 months, November, December, and we're wrapping it up here in January with 3 months of hustle and grit and going all out. As the gal last night said, momentum, putting that momentum and consistency and bang, 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 bang. There are many days I have had more than 1 class a day while teaching full time, but that is our season of hustle. We choose this. Now, after our season of hustle, will we have a season of just slowing down a bit and taking it a little bit easier? Yes, but that consistency that she talked about last night is so, so, so true, to just ramp it up, go all out. That's what hustle and grit is all about. But even during the season of hustle, we schedule days where we spend time as a family, we take a time to rest, we get in the car and go away, we leave the phones off. That's important too, because you have to have priorities. So make your why, make your goals, make them attainable, put them on paper, share them with somebody to hold them accountable, develop sharers, make it simple, make it duplicatable, and just continue to enroll, love on your team, follow up with them, and just have fun. Remember, this is a journey. It is not a marathon. There is no winner. There is no reason to go, 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 go. There is no prize at the end other than impacting lives and sharing with people and just doing what God has put us here to do. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. This is your journey, and we're all in it together to love on each other and give hugs. Because I like hugs. You don't?
I'm ashamed.
Anything else?
Why don't we thank Corey and
thank you, Corey.
and the Essential Success family for allowing us to just kind of talk for a little bit.
Thank you, Corey, for posting a picture 5 years ago of you and Amanda holding your kids, because it changed our world. So you never know what you guys sharing with other people is going to change their world too. Love you guys.